What are your thoughts on Don't Look Up?
I really, really liked it.
You liked it?
I really liked it.
You
I
really
know.
liked it.
I really liked it. I heard a lot
I
of
think
stuff.
he liked it, guys.
Well, I heard stuff about how like critics didn't really like it, and I'm like, sometimes I think critics are very accurate, and other times I just really don't agree, and I really don't agree with them. I thought this was
It's pretty split, the critics.
yeah, it's a really unique, well done movie. I'm a huge fan of dark comedy though, so this is like right up my alley. I like that. There were some jokes that were really broad. I like that there were some that were really actually really subtle and smart.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people don't like how jarring it was, kind of going back and forth, but I thought it worked really well. I actually quite liked it. I thought the moments that they wanted to be jarring to create anxiety, I think they pulled that off. I think they did a really good job of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I laughed my ass off, really. I really thought it was a hilarious movie.
Surprisingly funny.
Yeah.
I enjoy this movie because I love and adore end of the world films, especially ones that deal with asteroids and comets, like Armageddon, Deep Impact, are my favorites.
I do too. No, I feel you. I do too.
That's not the genre I thought you were going to bring up.
No.
I love comet movies, guys.
I do. Do you know why? Because they're realistic. It's happened to Earth before. Like alien invasion movies are fun. Like Independence Day, it's a great one. But like Deep Impact and that one specifically, like I remember that I felt the fear. I felt the danger because that is something that could happen at any time. Probably like realistically, like in our lifetime, like definitely not, but like it could. And that always scared me as a kid. There's another really good movie called Greenland with have you seen Greenland?
No, I've never even heard of that.
Oh,
I've heard of it.
Producer is looking it up right now.
Gerard Butler. It's a Gerard Butler.
Oh boy,
it's an end of the world movie. It's a comet movie. It's really good. It's actually surprisingly, I loved it. Because
what's the Rotten Tomatoes score? Put that up.
It's not great. I don't think.
But that's okay.
Neither it is
You
for
can
this.
like
I think this is a great movie.
Here's the score right here. But yeah, you're right. But I enjoyed this movie because it was a comet movie for the most part. I thought it was hilarious, and just honestly, people
It's just tickling me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what I took away from it. I'm like, oh great, like an end of the world for me, and I felt their fear, like especially Leo DiCaprio. He's going 11 the entire time.
He's so good in this movie.
Yeah, I like him, but he's always at 11.
Yeah.
All of his emotions are at 11 all the time. Like, okay, Leo, can you just every once
Levels,
in a while,
levels,
just a little
bud.
bit.
Up and
But
down.
he's always just like,
Give me them.
he's just like fucking crazy, and he screams, and there's a shot of him just yelling, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, that one.
Cuts.
Yeah, I'm like, Leo, relax, dude. It's the Revenant, like he just can't stop screaming.
In that moment,
Wolf of Wall Street, he's screaming a lot.
In that moment, all the hope of us being saved was gone.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I think any of us could have had that exact same visceral fucking reaction.
I'm trying to imagine another actor in that role, and I don't think they're going to be yelling as much as Leo. Leo yells in every single role he's in, whether it's Wolf of Wall Street, Revenant, whatever. He's always screaming at the top of his lungs, no matter what.
I love it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it makes him a great actor because his emotions are real. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just. I love you, Leo, but dude, just fucking stop screaming. Every line that you have is it's like he almost. I bet he like underlines where he could scream when he reads the script. Like, oh, this should yell. This should probably yell here. Spit should be flying. Snot coming out of my nose.
That's what got him Oscars.
Yeah, that's true.
For Oscar.
Anyway, Emily, what do you think about the movie?
So I overall liked this movie. I liked it. I think like some of the critics who didn't like it, they didn't like the jarring nature between the comedy and the drama. I feel that, but kind of the opposite of what some people were saying. I really liked a lot of the dramatic moments. I loved the tension and the raw emotion, and like this was a very genuine film. It was a very well acted film. I think all the performances were fucking great, both dramatic and comedic. But I think some of the comedy just didn't land, and some of it was so like, are we supposed to like it? It kind of undercut some of the serious messages of this movie.
Jonah Hill.
I liked Jonah Hill, honestly. It was some of the
He undercut like everything.
Yeah, I mean him doing Molly at like a very important
that
meeting.
to me
like
was
that,
funny.
I get that how that would undercut, but
it was mostly the first post-credit scene, which we'll get into. I was like, that felt like an episode of South Park. It was
it did.
weird and out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
And also like some of the lyrics in Ariana Grande has a song in this movie. Some of the lyrics of the song, I'm like, is this a an Idiocracy sketch. Like it felt
Yeah.
felt like a modern Idiocracy movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
but
I
it-
think that's what I liked about it.
but it didn't blend well.
Same.
And I think Adam McKay is like a master of comedy, but I think it was too like the humor of some of his earlier films, the broad, big kind of humor, and a lot of the smarts of some of his more recent films like Big Short and Vice, and it didn't mesh well for me.
For you.
Like it felt like disjointed, and also some of the humor attempts, I was like, oh, this is just really dated. Like some of the references toward modern culture, like the memes that they were using, I was like, that's a meme format that went out of style like 10 fucking years ago. Like it just immediately takes me out, where I'm like, that you didn't have anyone under the age of 30 on your staff that could have made a more modern
Are you
meme.
talking about the conference room after they do the rip
Yeah,
show?
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right. I actually noticed that too. I'm like, these are like old format.
I didn't think
memes.
about that at all. I laughed
Yeah.
at
Well,
all of
you're
them.
old, and that's why.
Hey, I'm his age, all right, and I noticed it, all right.
You're younger at heart.
I am younger at heart. That's
That'll
true.
just be the running joke of this pod, is that I'm young and you two are old.
Yeah,
Says a 30-year-old.
they both hit. Like I really liked that he went for both the really funny and sometimes really broad, but also sometimes really subtle and fucking funny. One of the ways that one like production element or editing style that I really, really liked, and he used it both to build drama and for comedy, is when he would cut someone off in the middle of a sentence or in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of things like that in this movie that maybe the point of the scene, like when Leo's character and Jennifer Lawrence's character are first talking to their significant others on the phone, and there's kind of like rising tension in the conversation. It cuts back and forth between the two, but it always cuts in the middle of one of them like making a point. I thought that was fucking great. I thought that was a really cool choice. There's plenty of times where they did it in the middle of them having a conversation, whether it was mundane or important, but they would cut for comedic purposes, and it always worked for me.
Oh, let me be clear. A lot of this comedy really fucking worked for me. Like,
And then the dramatic scenes, like for me personally, it wasn't too jarring between the two. I quite appreciated the uniqueness of the film in that it did that, and in my opinion, they pulled both of them off so well that it just worked for me. Like the dramatic scenes were dramatic enough and made me feel something. The comedic scenes made me actually laugh out loud a number of different times. I got both of that from the movie. So for me, like when it ended, like the two post-credit scenes were a little like you didn't really.
Why
need
are we
those.
doing this?
It made it a little slapsticky.
I loved it.
I can agree with that, but also like I didn't mind it because a lot of the movie got kind of absurd. Thanks
That's
for
it,
watching.
everybody.
Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next
I
week.
love you. If you made it to the end, congratulations.
Appreciate it.